mic is crooked.
I just heard you say that.
It's not in the middle.
Hello.
Not in the middle of the camera either.
Nothing's in the middle right now. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Carl Mingers. This is Aaron Burns. We are WRME Live, Weikert Realtors Main Edge, Mustang, Oklahoma. April 1st. April Fools.
I know.
Right? 2022.
It's been April Fool's for like a month now.
Well,
it's been crazy.
Only because you've had crazy buyers and crazy lenders.
Let me tell you. Communication from whoever it is, the lender, the buyers, the seller, realtors, whoever, is so important. And if you have a client or you have a lender that doesn't even communicate with you
Slap
and
'em.
you're their client, find a new one. I don't care.
Communicate,
how, like,
communicate.
It's
That
better-
is the
yeah.
other half of location.
Well, it's better than having your deal break the day of closing because of lack of communication.
I believe I would come unglued on somebody. Yep.
Oh, it wasn't.
Seriously.
It wasn't pretty. On many.
Did they walk in and go, April Fools? Oh.
No, the lender sent out an email and a text to notify everybody it was not closing.
By text. That's kind of
Yeah.
like breaking up by text, isn't it?
Right? I mean, it was crazy. I'm like,
Go away and die.
yeah, you're not going to be happy, but unfortunately, well, of course no one's happy.
No.
Like, we had people flying in for this closing, book rooms, and now you're saying it's not going to close
That
at
would,
all? And this is the second time?
Well, they would go to the... Well, they wouldn't go to the bottom of my lender's list. They would be removed from my lender's list.
Let's just say if I ever have to work with this lender again, it'll be too soon.
Well, sometimes we got to do what we got to do, but doesn't mean we got to like it. What else is going on besides this gorgeous weather we got going on? Man, it's nice. I'm ready to go camp. See, I'm ready to go vacationing somewhere. I don't have anywhere to go, but man.
Well, the other day, someone was like, I got out of so-and-so business because it'll drive you to drinking, and now I'm in real estate. I'm like, just wait.
You know, real estate is...
We have
unique,
networking
but-
events for a reason.
Yeah. Oh,
There's a reason you see realtors on vacation on the beach with a drink in
Yeah,
their
well-
hand.
that's why a lot of these title companies give wine at closing. You know, just let them go relax a little bit.
It's like, here, you need this.
What all we got going on?
Oh. Market's still kind of
Crazy.
crazy. Interest rates have went up some.
Yep,
but it
interest rates
still
went up,
hasn't-
and we've got 6 more dedicated interest rate increases, according to the Fed. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't expect it to stop there.
We
but
still are low on inventory, too, so that's not really affected anything.
I was talking to clients this week, and they're freaked out about their 4.25% interest. Oh my gosh, it's terrible!
But those same people have credit cards that they have thousands and thousands
Oh,
and
yeah,
thousands
I know.
that are triple, double that interest rate.
Well, you know what I tell them is, you know, if it's that big a deal to you, you know, I mean, get it under control, get the house under contract, get it bought,
Refinance.
and
leave it.
then, you know, shop around, and when interest, refinance the dude, you know, or don't. Stay where you're at. You know, if you don't like where you're at, be miserable, whatever. I mean, it's just, you got to make some decisions. You know, the world is filled with flat squirrels that couldn't make a decision.
Or stay where you're at because you can't find anything.
That's
'Cause
true.
it's still going quickly.
You know, I mean, and you got to deal with so many things. You know, they said, well, we'll just build a house. Okay, go find some land.
That's where we're at.
Good luck with that. You know, I actually have land. I have my house planned.
Right.
They've been rejected by my HOA, you know, rejected by the bank. So the bank won't even give me an appraisal on it until I get the HOA approval. And then I have to go through all of that before I even actually go to the city to get a build permit.
But it looks nicer than some of the houses that are already in here.
Oh, it is. But, HOAs, I understand their meaning. But if I ever wrote the CCRs for an HOA, it would cover things more specifically.
Yes.
It wouldn't leave any variant stuff
Gray
out
areas.
there. Right.
You see that a lot in HOAs.
Because then you're at the determination of whoever's going to approve your plans. And because and I love our HOA president and everything, but because he can see my house from his, he wants everything a certain way. Okay, well, it fits within the CCRs, covenants. We'll deal with that. I'm getting the plans redone to make his side that he can see prettier. Okay, which is the back side of our house, which it's kind of like painting your barn. You got to paint the back side first, otherwise you'll never get to it.
Right.
So we're doing the back side and making sure that's all squared away. Hopefully we can get started on that pretty quick.
So,
all these people having...
if you're moving into someplace with an HOA, always get them. And I've had clients that it was a pain to get them. And then it was even a pain for the title company to get the letter they needed from the buying side so we could even close. Because when you're dealing with an HOA, you got to have a letter stating that they're up to date on their dues and blah, blah, blah for the title company. Some HOA management companies charge for that. I know in my neighborhood, the last I checked, they charged $150 for someone to look at the computer, put in a few things on probably a sheet they already have, mass produced, change the name, address,
and name. If you're moving
into
a HOA, read the CCR. That's community conditions and restrictions.
Covenants, restrictions.
Yeah, covenants and restrictions. Read them, okay? Because if there's anything in there you don't like now, you're probably really not going to like it in the future.
And make sure you drive the neighborhood. If it's gated, if there's pool, if there's anything, tennis courts, basketball courts, playgrounds, common areas of any kind, that is covered in the HOAs and stuff. So that's part of your dues and
like
everything.
Like the pool?
Yes. Or the gates.
Long story there, huh?
Or the gates.
Yeah, I live out in the country on 9 acres, and our CCRs are just one page, but it's so poorly written. When we purchased the property, I never realized how much it could bite me in the butt.
Right. Well, even on the ones that have more than one page.
Oh, I've seen 10-page ones.
Oh, yeah. It's so gray sometimes. It's how the person interprets it. Believe me, I've been at many HOA meetings where there's an argument because one person reads it this way, another reads it this way, and another one reads it this way. And we all know you can give somebody a sentence, give it to 10 people, and everybody's going to read that sentence differently. So, yes, if it was
that's where
more...
body language comes in
Right.
in real estate, because I don't like doing real estate by text because the context can be misconstrued. So, I'll answer a few things here and there and do some stuff like that, but I want to have either on the phone or actually talking to them in person.
And there's a reason I'm very blunt. And that comes in very well in real estate. Because I'm just straightforward. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If it's this, I'm telling you. I had a client yesterday come to find out his dad is on the deed. And we didn't know it because on the tax records it just shows him as owner. So I call him, a little bit of a language barrier, but I told him to talk to his accountant on which way we needed to do it for his dad because I didn't want them to get hit with capital gain taxes because it's not their primary, because technically they're not getting anything from the sale. But it's still not my decision.
Right.
So I explained it all to him, had him call his accountant. He called me, he texted me, and I was like, no, I know you're not because it's your primary. I'm concerned about your parents.
Right.
And
last thing you want to do is accidentally create a tax liability.
Right. So then between talking to him, I don't think his accountant really understood real estate. I called the title company, got back to him. I explained a couple other things to him because I told him I'm not an accountant, but from my understanding,
We're
they
not
would.
attorneys.
Right.
We're not accountants. We're not lawyers. None of that stuff.
But even talking to him on the phone, it was still a little. In person would have been a little better.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we decided to do a quick claim deed. That way his parents and it's him selling the property and we don't have to worry about it.
But that's because you're invested in that client.
Right.
And we have so many realtors in our market now. And I mean, in ways that's good, but in ways that's bad. We got so many new people that are not being instructed how to properly take care of a client.
Right.
Customer service is out the window, and that frustrates me to no end. We got realtors out there listing stuff for 2 times what we know it can be sold for. Then it goes pending, and it sits there pending. I'm watching 3 homes right now that have been pending for over 2 months. Okay. And I guarantee you, lenders right now are closing things in 30 days or less. I mean,
as long as appraisals are coming back, that's our biggest
problem is,
right now.
I guarantee you, on every one of these, it's because appraisals didn't come in even close.
Well, and about being honest too. I lost a listing because I'm honest.
Yeah.
Somebody came in and told him.
I'm watching that one also because I bet you it sits pending for a long, long time.
I know.
And when people they're still making payments on these things just because a buyer has it pending and locked up. They're still making payments. They're making insurance and utilities and all this other stuff, and that stuff eats into somebody's. I don't care if you got 10 grand, sitting around.
Well,
it gets ate up real quick.
Even if you don't have a house payment anymore because you paid cash or you've paid it off, you still have utilities, gas, insurance, electric. You still have bills. You still got to check on this unoccupied house.
Oh, I was dealing with a guy this week. His house has been vacant for 3 months. Okay.
Oh wow. I'm
like, okay, now you called your insurance company and told them about that, right? You changed your insurance to a vacant home. He goes, well, no, why would I do that? I says, because if they find out you haven't been living there and something happens, you're not covered.
Right.
Or they're going to fight you on it. Okay? He called his insurance company. Sure enough, it's cost him $300 more a month while it's vacant.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just like, this is the guy that also, used the community representative instead of letting me represent him on a deal. His other house is sitting vacant while they're trying to decide how to put piers on a brand new house. And sometimes I just want to pull what little hair I have out, And
it's all because we're honest and we just don't tell them what they want to hear. I'd rather lose a client because I'm honest than lie to one and then look bad in the end.
And people and if you're asking them questions, and you should be asking your realtor questions, and they either don't want to answer or they answer every question with a pie in the sky attitude, you better question it. Because as great as our market is for sellers, it's a tough market for buyers.
And just because people are doing X, Y, and Z doesn't mean that your property is going to get that.
And every deal is different. My neighbor down the street, they got, well, okay, your neighbor down the street, sold it this way. I'm also a little frustrated on sellers turning down VA buyers. It is really annoying me.
FHA, USDA, I had a lot of trouble with some of those.
I know you're a seller, but these vets have done a lot for the country, whether they've actually served in a war or they just drove an army truck around. Whatever. They served our country.
They still...
and they deserve a little bit of at least attention. I mean, I've seen contracts just turned down. That's VA. Don't want to look at it. that's a discrimination that.
And if you have a good lender, there's some. I've did many VAs, and sometimes I'm pulling out my hair, threatening to drive across country to get a hold of some people, sitting on hold for 45 minutes because I'm going to get an answer and I'm not calling back. And eventually they'll talk to me because they know I'm not going to go away.
And you don't.
I don't. The local lender I'd rather deal with on VA or anything. But I'm not afraid to deal with another lender because I'm going to pester them until they talk to me.
Yeah, I never expected that to come out of this crazy market. I just, you have to, a VA inspection is going to be a little bit more critical than just a plain old inspection. There's certain things in the appraisal.
Well, and having a realtor that understands VA helps a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. Because it's not, you can compare it to an FHA because it's government based, but it's still different. Just like a HUD 182, an Indian loan, is comparable to an FHA, but if you don't understand the back end of how the HUD 182s work, because they're 100% underwriting, the underwriter has complete control over that and all of the requirements. I was talking to some lenders yesterday, and they were talking about a night when they had where the underwriter came back with 44 requirements.
Holy cow.
On a HUD 182. So in the long run, they ended up just turning around and getting them on an FHA loan because of that. Which, it's frustrating, but if you have somebody that's dealt with those and understands, it does help. And if you have a lender that gets those and has done those, it helps
and
too.
I don't mean to be bashing on new realtors, okay? My biggest problem with new realtors is they're not getting what they need from their brokers. I'm bashing some brokers out there. And, anybody that watches this knows how I feel about, brokers. They got to, to teach their people. You got to be able to answer questions 24 hours a day. And if you're a new realtor and you're in a situation that you're not sure of, don't wing it. Find somebody in your office or your broker, whatever. Ask the questions until you get the right answers.
The hard problem with that is there's so many virtual brokerages now. I just talked to a team yesterday. She's 7 months in, the other one's 4 months in, and they went with this, and now their mentor just left and they didn't even know, and now they don't have a mentor, and they're just
That's very frustrating.
They ask a question to the broker, and their broker threatened to release them.
Wow. Well, it's a crazy world out there. I tend to get attached to everybody that I work with, okay? Because I have a vested interest in you.
Right.
Okay? This is your livelihood. And if I'm not going to treat it correctly, you're not going to be able to make the money that you need to stay in the business. And that's the biggest problem in this business. People get their license, they don't have a clue what to do, and they end up failing. What do we have, a 90-some% failure rate?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's 93.
Like, for me, in my first year, I did no transactions. Most people would have already been gone.
It's
and that's not uncommon. Don't think, oh my God, that's not uncommon for realtors to come in and not do anything in their first year. That's people
my first
would think
6
it's
months.
crazy.
I've always been in a mechanic or machinist environment, an industrial environment, and then I got into real estate, and it was so foreign to me. It took me almost 6 months just to figure out the dynamics of everything.
What to do?
It's very different, and if you don't get up, dress up, go out and get it.
Well, you don't even have to
don't happen.
Dress up. Just get dressed.
Well, I started at Keller Williams. They said, okay, if you really want to make it, be here at 8 o'clock and start. I was there at 7:30, made sure the coffee was on, made sure all my stuff was ready to go, and 8 o'clock I'm hitting the phone trying to get some things done. But I'm the only one there. There's a couple of the top producers that would come in at 9, but most of the agents, and there was hundreds of agents at that office, would come in about 11. We had a noon meeting, and then about half of those would go to the movie. That's why they have movies at 1 o'clock in the afternoon for realtors. You know?
Well, not all of us.
I mean, it was crazy.
I couldn't imagine being on a movie at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
And of course, there's cliques just like high school.
Right.
Whole herd of little ladies over here, a whole herd of guys over here, and they all go play golf, they all go to the movie, whatever. It was just unique, and I'm like, how do these people make any money? But maybe they were socializing, networking, stuff like that.
Maybe. I mean, you never know. But if they do it every day,
all the time,
then you gotta wonder. But all right, we've talked for 20 minutes. They're probably sick of hearing
20
us.
minutes.
I know.
Gosh, she's going to shut me up. You believe that?
Christine was texting me, going, "Time." She was on us. We're in trouble.
She thinks she's the boss.
We're in trouble. And now she's gonna hear it, and we're really in trouble.
I'll tell you, I'm going to get my hat. I'm going to go home.
We're not going home. We're going to lunch.
Oh, we got lunch today.
Yeah, you
Are
can
we
go
still
home.
going, or we did?
We're still going.
Oh man,
We gotta say bye.
We got lunch today.
Yes,
Yeah, Louis
in Yukon.
Bar and Grill in Yukon.
They have good chicken strips.
Well, they got some good stuff there, don't they?
Yes.
Everybody's invited. Anybody in real estate or past clients or lenders, if you're
Or
happen
home
to be watching this
inspectors or
thing,
roofers, or we do it
I
with
buy
everybody.
lunch first Friday of every month. The more the merrier. I think we got seating for up to 50 today. So
If we need to, we'll take over the whole place. We don't care.
all right. Well, we are WRME Live, where we do real life, real world real